find that the camera on my work computer is right at the top of the screen, so I have to actively look up in order to make it look like I'm looking at you instead of looking down here at the middle of the screen where I would. So it's kind of a weird thing. So if I look down, sorry about that, because it's just kind of a little bit weird for me. So we're narrowing in on the end of the material for this course. I know there's a few weeks left in the course. There's a few weeks at the end of the semester where I'm giving you concentrated time to work on your program evaluation proposals. And so during the beginning of these weeks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a number of times where I'll be available for one-on-one meetings with you so we can talk about your evaluation proposals. I know for at least a couple of our classmates, employers of the students in this class are really particularly excited to hear about the needs assessment proposals and the program evaluation proposals that we're doing. So I want to make sure that you have some good solid time to sit down with me and talk about your proposals, that that's really what you do. What you want to do so that you can really do a good job with them, and make sure that you are prepared to present them to people outside this class. But before we do that, there's a couple more things we need to talk about. So this week what we're going to talk about is cost issues like personnel, equipment, things like that, other kinds of issues, and also a bit more information to consider when developing your program evaluation questions. I know you're starting to really think about that now. I think, going back to cost, I think that the Royce et al. Book chapter that I provided gives a really good overview of the things that we need to consider when we're thinking about the costs associated with a program evaluation. As primarily researchers, and I say that because I know that's what your training's been up to this point, we tend to forget about some of the costs associated with working with clients. So I think the chapter helps to highlight those costs that we need to consider. And that's often very important for our clients. They have budgets to consider, and we need to make sure that we're using their finances efficiently, but at the same time doing a thorough evaluation. And so we also need to consider the specifics of the program that we're evaluating when we're working with our clients on evaluation questions. What I mean by this is I mean that what we'll want to focus on during the evaluation. Programs that are in their infancy really require different questions than programs that are been up and running for a while. So your clients can help you figure out what they think are the most important questions, and you really need to take their views into account because they're the ones who are kind of close to their programs. And remember also that formative process and outcome evaluation questions are very different, and you'll likely need to use different data to answer those questions. But I want you to be careful when you're thinking about questions for a program evaluation because program evaluations can get very large and very unwieldy really quickly. And clients are generally under a timeline, so you need to be thorough but efficient. So next week you'll have your take-home test. I've given you for homework this week, I've given you a practice exam that's going to look similar to the first part of your take-home test. The actual exam is longer than the one for homework, but the homework's going to help give you an idea of how I'm going to ask you to respond on the take-home test. I'm going to be busy grading your needs assessment proposals this week. They'll take me quite some time to grade, so it's going to take me probably about a week to get them done. But I will take time to look out for your homework answers. So if you submit those homework answers early, I'll look at them and I'll give you responses just so you can feel better prepared to take your take-home exam next week.